Hello. I know a lot of people have done videos that are spoiler talks for the movie Glass. Some YouTubers that are even more popular than me. So I thought I'd do a video of my own. And I better warn you, if you have not seen Glass yet, and you don't want it spoiled for you, don't watch this video. Go see the movie first, then come back and watch this video, because I'm going to be giving away some major spoilers. Can't say I didn't warn you. Okay, now. The movie begins with the Horde, aka Kevin Wendell Crumb. He's now the personality of Hedwig. We later learn he's kidnapped some cheerleaders. And you probably know, if you saw the movie Split, what he's going to do to them. And David Dunn, who now has the superhero name called the Overseer, and his superhero persona has really built up quite a reputation for itself, because we see an old guy get mugged by some of these stupid teenagers, and these idiot teenagers, what do? They post it. And David tracks them down, and then after he roughs up the guy's partner, the guy says, "Chew." See, his reputation's really built as a superhero. David owns his own security store, and his partner in the crime fighting is his son Joseph. Like, remember how Alfred was in Justice League for Batman? That's kind of similar what Joseph is to David. It's kind of see that they had their relationship has quite build. We later learn that that David's wife, Audrey, is passed away, and David's life's pretty much good, but he still wants to find the missing cheerleaders, and when he goes to take a walk, he comes across the personality of Hedwig. And you know what happens when David touches people who do bad things? He can see the evil that they've done, because David's tuned to the frequency of evil. So David finds the warehouse, sets the cheerleaders free, and then he comes across the Beast. And they have a nice little fight. It's mostly like, not quite what you... Well, it's not bad. I mean, they just kind of throw each other around. It's pretty clear when you see them fight. They're very equal in strength, because neither one is better than or less than. So it's pretty cool. And when the Beast's trying to break David, but he can't break David, because after seeing it Unbreakable, we learn David is unbreakable. And David jumps out the window of the warehouse, and just when the two are about to collide again, something stops them. Psychiatrist and her staff. Psychiatrist's name is Ellie Stapler, played by Sarah Paulson. She uses a strobe light to change the personality. She's no longer the Beast at that time, and it's amazing how she knew that would change him. And then she knew David's name. How did she know David's name? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. And they both are taken to a mental institution, and David gives up because it was raining, and I don't think he did much of a fight in the rain. So they go to this mental institution. Kevin and the Horde are in the room where this strobe light, every time he tries to get away, a new personality keeps changing. David's in a room full of water that when he tries to escape, they'll turn on the water, and then it'll just weaken. And who else they find out is there? Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass. He's been catatonic for some time. And Ellie Stapler's trying to convince all three of them that there's nothing extraordinary about any of them. They're just ordinary men. They're just delusional. And somehow you almost convince David and the Horde that there's nothing unique about them, even though you throw out evidence that there is stuff unique, but she just finds a way to... She gives an excuse why it happened the way it did, but surprisingly, the only one you don't convince is Elijah. And we later learn she makes the biggest mistake of underestimating him, because when he learns that Kevin Wendell Crumb, aka the Horde, is there and learns a bigger secret about him, I'll get to that in a moment, he has a plan. And boy, does he has a plan to go to this building and have him and David battle it out, and it'll be on live TV. And he turns off the water hose so David can escape. It's weird. Why would an arch villain want his nemesis to stop him? But you're like, oh, you're thinking he's just crazy. But they don't even make it as far as the parking lot outside the institution. The Beast kills some people. He flips a police car like it was lifting a box with something in it. It was pretty awesome. I swear, and James McAvoy chews up every scene he's in when he does that. Ooh. And then him and David and the Beast kind of battle it out, which is pretty cool. It's mostly like wrestling. They just kind of just throw each other around. A few punches are thrown here and there. But here's what I didn't like about that scene: the close-ups. The close-ups of it kind of took away from the fight. The close-ups of David and the Beast. I mean, what was the point of that? It got ridiculous. It got ridiculous when they kept doing that. And then and the fight is sort of interrupted this time by Joseph, who finds out a secret about Kevin Wendell Crumb's father, and that he was on the train, the same train that David Dunn was on, and of course Kevin's father was killed and David wasn't, and of course we all know who orchestrated that was Mr. Glass. I like the way Mr. Glass's reaction, like, to when Joseph's about to tell him, he says, don't tell him now." It's like, wait a minute, he doesn't seem too worried. What's going on here? And when the Beast confronts Mr. Glass about what he did, Mr. Glass doesn't seem to begging for his life. He says, "Yeah, I created David and I created you. The bad things I did, a little good thing came out of it." But the Beast is like, "I protect Kevin. I understand what you did, but I can't trust you anymore." And of course, he kind of punches a hole in. He kind of punches Mr. Glass, like punching a hole in him, and that would be instantly to kill him because he's easily breakable. Of course, the fight between the Beast and David resumed. The Beast picks up David and throws him in a tank of water. Ooh, of course, water is his kryptonite, and he attempts to strangle David in the water, and David finds a little broken hole, and a broken part of the tank, and he naps it, and he hits it, and then it gets him out of the tank, and of course the Beast runs off, and David is weak, and a mysterious guard grabs David and starts to drown him in a puddle. And David's too weak to fight. And Ellie Stapler comes by and says, "David, take my hand." He thinks she's going to help him. Oh, but what David sees is something cool. He sees that she's part of an organization that stops superpowered beings from walking the earth. I'm like, whoa, and it's like, at first you're thinking she's gonna help him, but then it's like, before you die, you might as well know something. And of course, after that, the guard continues to drown David, and of course David dies, and then Anna Taylor-Joy I forgot her character's name, reprises her role, and of course we later learn about her character, which I like the way her character has some closure, that after the events in Split, she had enough courage to tell what her uncle's been doing to her, who's been, of course, been sexually abusing her, and now she's living with a foster family. And people are wondering, oh, why would she go see the man that did this, that kidnapped her and all that? Oh, maybe because he helped her and made her realize he's a stronger person. And when she she manages to convince Kevin to come into the light. Of course, when he's not the Beast, he's Kevin again, so he's not immune. He's not invulnerable to bullets. And so the police shoot him, and here's the thing: I was deeply upset when David died because he was a superhero, but I can understand why it would have people mixed. And now Kevin and the Horde I can understand, because you remember in Split, when Kevin came into the light for a little while, he wanted to die because, well, he did not want to be in the light, because if he did, he'd have to remember all the horrible things his mother did to him, and of course he did not want to remember. He'd rather have the Horde take the light, but at the same time he knew the Horde was doing terrible things, and he felt he couldn't stop it. He felt the only way to stop it is to die, and in the end, Kevin, like I said, Kevin wanted to die because he couldn't stop himself. And you're thinking that's the end, but of course, like I said, Ellie Stapler was part of this organization that is supposed to stop superpowered beings. I like Sarah Paulson's performance. The way she doesn't really see herself as the bad guy. She sees herself as doing the good for humanity, of course, but when David touches your hand and you see that, it's pretty clear she's evil. And just when you think the footage has been erased and all that stuff, oh, she made the biggest mistake of all of underestimating Mr. Elijah Price, aka Mr. Glass. She thinks his plan failed. No, his plan did not fail. She set his plan in motion. She said there were a dozen cameras there and thought he was too catatonic to even acknowledge it. No, he faked it all, and he heard every word. And before the parking lot battle, he managed to find a way that he went into the computer part of the institution and found a way to transfer the footage so nobody can erase it. And the footage is going to be out there, so when Ellie Stapler realizes that, she goes in the hallway and screams, realizing she and her organization are screwed. So the movie ends with Joseph, Anna Taylor-Joy's character, and Elijah's mother are all sitting at a train station, and the footage that Elijah leaked out was sent to them, and they all leaked it to the press. So, and I think the ending was supposed to say there were other superpowered beings out there, and maybe this footage will inspire them to come out, so they don't have to hide anymore. And you wonder if the story is going to continue, but M. Night Shyamalan says no, it ends here. I have no desire to continue this story. This is where it ends. Yeah, it's what Sylvester Stallone said about Rocky 3, and there was more Rockies to come. But if it ends here, fine. I mean, we're left to the imagination. Maybe somebody else will continue the story in a TV series. Wait a minute. It would sound very similar to Heroes. Maybe this is a prequel to Heroes. Maybe. I'm stretching a bit. It was a pretty good ending. I mean, I know this is not the traditional, what you would think a traditional superhero film would end, but this is M. Night Shyamalan. Like I said, if you go in this film expecting a Marvel and DC-like superhero film, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in expecting an M. Night Shyamalan film with surprises, then you'll probably like it. Okay, that's all I got to say about spoiler talk for Glass. Tell me what you think, in case you are watching. Bye-bye.